Good evening. Good evening. Today is March 13th, 2024. This is the meeting of the Police Accountability Board for Prince George's County, Maryland. The time is now 6:44. Call the meeting to order. I'll take the roll. If you are attending virtual, would you just say present virtually? And if you are in person, just say present. Vice Chair Sanchez?
Present.
Mr. James?
Present virtually.
Thank you, sir. Mrs. Bryant?
I'm present virtually.
Thank you, ma'am. Mrs. Springs?
Present.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Coleman?
Present virtually.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Jones, Daniel Jones? Mr. Melton?
Present.
Thank you, sir. Mr. O'Neill?
Present.
Thank you, sir. Mrs. Ridley?
Present.
Thank you, ma'am. Danny Bergamini? All right, cool. We do have quorum. Everyone having their agenda and the minutes, everything that they needed. Next up on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from February 13th and February 28th. Did everyone get an opportunity to review those? And if not, let us know. Oh, yeah. All right. Sorry. Okay. I want to take a few more minutes to review. Does anybody else need any more time to review the minutes? All right. Is there a motion to approve? Each one independently. We'll start with February 13th. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from February 13th?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from February 13th.
Motion made to approve the minutes from February 13th by Mr. Melton, seconded by Vice Chair Sanchez. All in favor to approve those minutes from February 13th, say aye or raise your hands on screen.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? And any abstaining? All right. Unanimous. Minutes are approved from February 13th. February 28th.
Question regarding the 28th.
Thank you, sir. Did you say I'm sorry.
I said I had a question regarding the 28th.
All right. Yes, sir.
Well, you don't have a motion. Hold on one second. I heard a motion. I didn't hear a second.
Okay.
No, nobody seconded it. Oh,
Who did? Mr. James
no, Mr. Melton.
did the motion.
Yes.
But who seconded it?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah, Mr. James was saying something.
Okay, we need a second before he.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'll second. Oh, okay.
Seconded by Mrs. Ridley.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Now this.
Sorry, Mr. James. Go ahead, sir.
Not a problem. On the minutes on the 28th, it references the Chiefs meeting, and I'm just making sure. I thought we agreed to do that on March 20th, and I didn't see that in the meeting minutes. If I recall, we had in the Springs, I think you may recall, we had 3 meetings in the month, and I think that was one of them for the month. The 20th was the Chiefs meeting.
Which section, Mr. James? Third page.
Third page.
Okay. Under announcement. Oh, okay.
It references the 13th, we were doing interviews, the 20th, we were doing the Chiefs meeting, and the 27th was the community meeting. And I'm just saying, within the paragraph there about the Chiefs, it doesn't have that was agreed to be on March 20th.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, okay. And I just have a question, because if that was stated, then we'll add them to the minutes. But that was a proposed date, right? Not a
Confirmed.
confirmed date, or was it a confirmed date?
I thought we confirmed those were the 3 meeting dates that we had in March, being the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th.
So, can somebody say, was it confirmed with the police chief? I mean,
Been in the minutes, shouldn't
I
it?
think it was, because the 27th is when we're doing our,
Outreach.
the outreach thing.
Denise is saying no.
You asked if it was confirmed with the police.
With the police, as he's talking about.
Are we saying the date's confirmed or the actual event confirmed?
I'm not talking about the 27th, I'm talking about the 20th.
Oh, okay,
Right.
the 20th.
Was it confirmed? It may need to go in here, but I didn't know if it was stated that it was proposed or confirmed. I don't know what, Tangi, do you know
I'm not
somebody,
sure about that.
whether that was in the minutes that proposed or confirmed?
It was mentioned, I didn't hear it because when I went back to listen to it, I think the audio was just too low.
Okay.
So that's probably why I missed the 20th date.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But I'm still, was it the minutes proposed or confirmed? What was it
The
said,
meeting,
so it's
was it, I think it was proposed.
proposed, okay.
I don't remember anybody voting on it, but I don't remember anyone necessarily saying no to that date either.
Mr. James, do you have another understanding? Because if so, we'll just put proposed for March 20th.
That's fine. Saying that it was proposed, I just wanted to make sure that was clear, and I thought that was the expectation. So that's what I understood it to be, the proposed date, and we were going to confirm invitations. But again, that's what we discussed, and I just did not see that date in there for that particular item, and that's what we specifically discussed.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll add it. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to amend it, the minutes that we have to reflect, that the proposed date with the meeting, the chief's meeting of November, March 20th. Okay,
Okay, intend you'll update them.
okay, send that out, okay. All right, cool.
Just the quarterly meeting or what?
Police chief, yes, I think that's what we said, yep,
What time we talking about, in the evening or what?
It's gonna be a regular meeting time, right?
yeah,
It's gonna be a regular meeting time.
yeah.
That's next Wednesday.
Yes, yes. Remember we
That's
talked about
important, so y'all can meet y'all March first quarter.
Right.
deadline.
Right, so, let's get through the minutes first, and then we can discuss that. You good with everything, Marvin Joe Tangi, you got that?
We'll add it.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right, so cool.
Thank you.
So, yes, ma'am,
The meeting is gonna be here?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Now, did we say who the chief's gonna be? I mean,
No, we haven't gotten that far yet, so let's get through these minutes first, let's stay on task.
We'll discuss it.
Yeah, let's get through the minutes first, so, we're on, February 28th minutes, right? So we're going to amend, the minutes will be amended to reflect that the police chief's meeting will be held on March 20th.
Proposed.
Proposed March 20th, so that the minutes will reflect that it was a proposed date, March 20th. So they will be amended. So we'll stick with the motion that Mr. Melton has made and seconded by Mrs. Ridley. So all in favor to, accept the minutes with the, amended, language about the police chief's meeting on March 20th, say aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining? All right, great, thank you. Minutes from February 28th are accepted in the minutes.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
it just wasn't taken off, so can I just ask when you get the old business, can you remove the 3 Greenbelt meeting outreach and the quarterly? It's moved to its own line item.
Okay, so we're gonna, on the old business, and then the quarterly meetings with the police chiefs. So we're gonna move that, and, okay, got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you. All right, next up is under old business, we have data analysis addendum to annual report approval. Dr. Coleman? Ma'am, sounds like you, couldn't speak too well. Are you okay to talk today?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm fighting a really horrible cold, so sorry about that. So for the addendum, I did send the updated addendum to staff a few days ago, I believe. And so I think everything should be good to go for vote. The addendum was small. It was to, again, add to make sure that all of the data of the counts reflected a duplicated count. So that means incidents and not like officers. So for example, if an officer had more than one allegation, the allegations means the number of allegations, not the number of officers. So I added a little explanation to that in the report.
Okay. Excuse me.
It's like on the
Does everyone
second
have-
page, little box.
Yep, everyone have a copy of it? Okay. Yep. Okay. All right, cool. Anyone had any questions or concerns with that? Nope. All right. Thank you, Dr. Coleman. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand.
I just wanted to say, you ought to approve it for publication, that's what the approval. Prior to you can just ready
Oh, okay.
to distribute.
Did anyone have any questions or concerns with it?
So we're saying out of the 24 jurisdictions, we don't have anything from 11.
From-
They haven't sent us any cases or anything like that, that's what we're saying. I mean, according to this,
Yes.
yeah.
That is correct. Anything else? All right, so, are we going, go ahead, sir, I'm sorry.
I move to approve the data analysis addendum to the annual report.
Second.
Motion made to approve the addendum to the annual report by Vice Chair Sanchez, seconded by Mrs. Springs. All in favor to approve the addendum, say aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining? All right, it is approved.
Chair,
Yes, go, no, ma'am.
I hate to go back, but I'm just trying to figure out if the members that are saying that they would just give a brief,
Oh, somebody did it?
did I count, did everybody agree?
Yes, I thought so. Did anyone else hear? I apologize if someone said that they were
Everybody agree?
abstaining.
Okay.
So, going back to, also, are we approving this also to go put it on the website or go public? Is that what was that the last
Yes.
one we just did?
Yes.
Okay, so this is going on the website.
Yes.
Okay, all right, I just want to make sure. It's slow, you know.
Thank you. Next up, PowerPoint presentation, Mrs. Bryant. Ma'am, I know you said you were, oh, there you go.
Unfortunately, I'm on a small tablet and I can't do the presentation, so I sent it to you and staff. So
Yeah,
yeah,
okay. So,
if you could bring it up, we can go through
Okay.
it if you want to do that.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Oh, that's not a good picture. Oh, why you-
man.
Why would you start? Who
Oh my
did
God.
that? Who did that? That's AI.
Who did your makeup?
Don't do that, Mr. Miller.
Yeah, so clearly that's just the identification page. Next one.
Okay, please, next, quick.
So this is just an enhanced version of what the assembly does. So people can have a picture of it. In April 21, the General Assembly passed the Accountability Act, requiring us to do what we do. Of course, we would go through this in a little bit more detail. I have added notes. I can't see them right now, but when you're given the presentation, there's a notes section where you can give specific, talking points to various data that's on the slide. So here I just go through how the legal process got started.
Okay.
Okay, next. And that we passed in Prince George's County the CB 021 Law Enforcement Accountability Act, with the mission working with each law enforcement agency and county government to improve matters of policing. And again, we can go into detail. I think there's a slide later on which shows all of the police agencies or the law enforcement agencies that are engaged in our oversight role. Okay, next. And this just gives a timeline of when we started and when it was our processes were complete. So in April of 21, the HB 670. In July of 22, Prince George's County passed CBO 21. And then we were sworn in November of 2022. And in December, the ACC members were sworn in. And December of 23, we got the administrative hearing boards actually formed. And one took place, I understand, in December, correct?
No, that would have been, they started getting them in, March of 2023.
No, I'm saying an actual board was held in December though, right?
Yes, an actual board, yes.
Yeah, so prior to December, that was still the regular, the one without the community member and held by the police. Through the old process. That's my point. Okay, next slide. Please correct this picture. There's a picture that was on another slideshow that has all of us together with everybody's names. However, in the notes section, it does introduce everyone, and it's a much better looking photo. So I would love it if somebody would plug that particular photo into this presentation. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, which photo? We understand, we don't know which photo, Sheila. Which photo?
There's another photo, I think, that was in the presentation given by the IG and the chair. And it had this, I pulled the actual pictures from there, but it's much better organized and it looks better than this. Because, yeah, just for the appearance.
Oh, last slide. Okay.
So here and at the bottom, I just show the committee at work. And so in the notes section, it would introduce all the members.
Anything about that?
We have the original, we have the presentation, so we can just copy the slide over.
Yep.
Exactly.
Well, and I tried to copy.
That's.
Well,
He doesn't have a picture.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a picture on the
We're gonna have to
website.
take a picture of him.
Yeah, so I tried to insert that slide, but because it was used two different programs, it wasn't able to adapt to the the PowerPoint presentation.
Right, and also there were some very good slides that Keenan had assisted me with, but because they were with a different program, it doesn't just slide over. I really wanted to add some of those, but for this one, this is PowerPoint. I'm not sure what you used. The file that I got these photos from was a PDF document, and I could get the pictures, but it doesn't transfer as a slide.
Yeah. There's an actual program that we can use to transfer from PDF to PowerPoint, so we'll have to try to see if
I actually have a PowerPoint slide.
Okay, so Ms. Hall said she actually has the PowerPoint slides for that, so we'll get a copy of that up to you guys.
One picture, another picture.
Okay, so the next slide.
So that's the picture that Chief we had.
So here I'm just trying to describe what the processes are, and in the notes section, it will tell with each some of the language is taken from our annual report about what the complaints how the complaints come in, but if a complaint is received by the law enforcement agency, we may not see it because there's no requirement that they send them to us. However, we are required to send within 3 days any complaint that we receive to the law enforcement agency. So again, the notes go into detail about each phase of the process.
Okay.
And again, what our mission is, and I know you said you wanted some different photos in this particular slide, but you didn't share with me which ones they were. And so if you'd like to share with me, then I can plug them in.
Okay. Mr. O'Neill?
We need to go back to the last one. On that, it should be something that where they can, and what, that's what I'm not looking at, right?
No.
Where they can file the complaints at, forms at the police stations. And
Yeah, it comes
directly-
further. It's further in the slideshow.
Okay.
And if you want me to move it around, just just let me know. Okay, but go to the next one. So we have the responsibility. I just put the chief of the Prince George's County and the sheriff, and then all the law enforcement agencies, and what our responsibility is to evaluate their disciplinary processes and identify any trends. And I think the notes go into a little bit more detail about what we're looking for.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So this is some of the data from Andrea. Thank you. And it just tells what some of the allegations are. And so the notes again describe more specifically how many of them are unbecoming, which is apparently the most frequent allegation is unbecoming conduct. And so I described that.
Right.
All right, next slide. And these are the actual numbers, again, taken from the data that was provided by Andrea. For 2023, I presume that's what that is. Okay. And so what I was trying to highlight here is some of the recommendations that we have made. And right at this point, we've asked for a uniform complaint system. And then we will, as things go along, we will identify those trends, et cetera, that would help make the police department better.
Okay.
Next slide. And here, Mr. O'Neill, for you, how to file it. File it online. There's the website, send an email, mail it to our office. I wasn't aware of going to the police station, but I mean, I guess from our point of view, this is how we prefer it so that we would have a part in it. But I can add that, the fact that you can go to the police department to file a complaint.
Because I was talking about, I thought, maybe I'm wrong, is that the person, if they want to file a complaint, but, they can get the form from the police station if they don't go online and things like that. You're actually getting the actual form. Isn't that true? Am I wrong? It's supposed to be I thought earlier we said at each police station, on their bulletin board, they have how to file a complaint. You can pick up a complaint there at that place. I'm wrong.
Yeah, so we can just add that in there to say you can also file a complaint with each law enforcement agency. We can just put that in there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, next slide. And this is, I just wanted to, share the word. If you see something good, pass it on. If you see a police officer that's doing something well, let us know. And it doesn't appear that it's too clear, but I just showed here example of some of the things that they actually do. And I think we had talked about leaving a blank slide for like a periodically updating what's going on, what are some of the trends, et cetera, so they could be edited easily. So what do you feel about that? Just sort of an additional slide that just tells what some of the problems that we've seen. I've shown what the typical allegations are. I think and part of it says whether they were sustained or not. But we don't talk about what kind of accountability was held. And I wasn't able to decipher that.
So, that was great. I think, when you just mentioned, what the findings were of the case, like, we should maybe describe what sustained, and those, definitions mean as well. Also, I would like to see if we can get, some pictures of the staff in there as well. They're part of this process, so I would love to see some of them, their pictures in there as well. And then
Okay.
they also have the blank slide that we can have for updated real-time report. We can call
Right.
that actual data. So
Right,
whenever
right.
we go out, right before we make the presentation, we can just throw that slide in there.
Absolutely. Okay, so yeah, and so we had talked about using this slideshow for the 27th. So if there are things that you need, if any of you, if you have recommendations, please just send them to me, and I will update it right away. And if you can use PowerPoint so that I can slide them over and make it easy. I am not an expert. I just thought it needed to be done. So
Well, great job. Thank you.
okay. So send your questions, comments, criticisms, suggestions, send them to me and I will act accordingly. Thank you.
So you acted like we were the community and you presented it to us. That's it. That was good. That was good.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
community. I will have some cookies and cheese and wine. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, great. Thank you. All right, cool. Did anyone have any questions on that? I know we talked about it as we were going along. Good job. And that can always be, we can change it and add it, and especially with whatever, I think it would be great to have that data for whatever community we're going to. We can always have that data to reflect whatever community if we're speaking at, a homeowners association or something like that, or South County, anywhere, we can have that particular data that would address the issues in that, well, not the issues, but the data that reflects in that particular part of the county. That was good. Great. We're gonna try it out on the Chiefs. That's gonna be our first group of people we're gonna try this on. All right, next up on our agenda, so do we want to, vote to approve this for our March 27th, community outreach, to have this slide?
With amendment.
Okay, with amendments, yes.
Because that's what we should start it off with.
All right, so is there a motion to, approve the slide show presentation, with amendments for our, March 27th community outreach?
I move that we approve this slideshow with amendments for the March 27th outreach.
Great. Motion made by Ms. Springs, seconded by Dr. Coleman. All in favor to approve the slideshow presentation for the, outreach program meeting for March 27th, say aye. Any opposed? All right, cool. Approved, thank you.
Can we get all amendments to Ms. Bryan by the 20th?
Got promoted already. Okay.
Can we get
Yes, please
everything
get.
to Dr. Bryan? By the 20th?
Yes, by the
Anything
20th.
that we want to change?
I need them
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
20th. Thank you.
And make sure that it's in the PowerPoint presentation, so if we can just slide in the PowerPoint, so yeah, that'll be good. All right, so, if we can get some pictures of the staff, whatever you guys have. Oh, okay. That's what I'm talking about, thank you. All right, cool. And we just voted, I'm sorry. Everybody said yes, none, okay. So that is approved, we will use those slides. And again, make sure we get them to, Mrs. Bryan by the 20th. All right, next up is Mr. Vice Chair.
Case reviews, we're gonna push that back to April. I didn't send cases out because we were gonna have interviews today. I didn't wanna make it a long night for everyone.
We talked about that, yep.
Yeah, we talked about that, so.
Okay, All right, and now, no one has any issues with trying to, access any of the cases, right? We all good? Okay, perfect. Oh, looks like you're up again, Mr. Vice Chair, and Sandy.
Which one are you,
Oh,
where are you?
so we went from the case review, then we went,
They have
outreach.
administrative
Yeah.
hearing
Yeah.
for
These three
interview.
are all down here now.
Oh, you said two, Marvin, so,
Three.
okay. Okay.
So the next is the green belt.
Those are,
Not yet.
those are down in community and external
Okay,
outreach.
I apologize, thank you.
For the administrative.
Yeah, thank you for keeping me on point, Council Camp. Yep, administrative hearing board interviews. So, well, we don't have that.
For your whole-
Yep, so we're gonna have to, table that and figure out,
Staff prepared your list of candidates.
yep, I got that. I got that email. To read.
Do we have, a new strategy for interviews, or are we gonna talk it through?
Yeah, so I thought about it when I was coming, I was like, that's Mr. Melton's wheelhouse, so. So we can, we can discuss that, if we want to. So, and, yes, I'm sorry, yes, ma'am.
For clarification, just so you all know, the list that's here
Mhm.
are the people who are eligible to go to training April the
Oh.
17th to 18th. So these are only those people.
Okay,
And
okay,
I thought, the last meeting, you all wanted us to reach out to those people to
Yeah.
find out who can go to that training.
Yep.
So this list is just those people.
Okay.
that's perfect.
Have they been given this, or,
No, because, it was my assumption that it needed to be voted on, you all needed to agree on the question.
Yeah, so I think we should, right, like you said, vote on this to send this out, so, so staff had sent out the 12 candidates that can make the training, and also, Mr. Vice Chair is suggesting that we send them the, form to fill out. So, Joe, should we take a vote to approve this form to go out to these?
I just, before I answer, so you're gonna send it to everybody irrespective of if they are selected for interview?
Would that expedite the process, you think?
I think it will move further forward, so.
So they can,
Yep.
okay.
yeah, that way they can just get it back to us
And
and we have the information.
Okay, yeah,
So you don't need,
okay, so yes, ma'am, we'll go ahead and, send that out.
Can I,
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry,
can
Mr.
I make a recommendation about the form now?
Yes, sir.
I would highly suggest for page 2 for demographics, we make it clear that that's voluntary.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Milton? Did you look through it? You're welcome.
And when is the training happening? The April?
17th.
17.
Where is it gonna be at?
You good? Okay. All right, so. And send that out to those 12 candidates. Thank you so much. Other than the suggestion that, Mr. Melton made, no, I think that's it. No.
Yeah, that,
Any instructions
There's
to
a-
the candidates,
Oh.
like,
Yeah, we should get it
back
back,
by a certain time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you may be doing interviews.
yeah, so that's, we should have a larger discussion to,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was trying to figure out, because I thought we were going to do
Yeah,
interviews like today.
yeah.
So, if we're able to do the forms, I guess, when can you have them ready tomorrow, like, when you
Well,
be?
it's up to you, or just let me know, because, I guess the interviews weren't done today, because I didn't know how you
No.
wanted to do it.
You know what I'm saying, as far as, when are you able to send it out, like, if we, the form?
Oh, tomorrow.
Okay, so if she can send out tomorrow, then
We'll
we.
ask for it back at least by when? I said,
Yeah, 48,
Friday.
yeah, 'cause tomorrow, yeah.
okay, Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So it goes out on Thursday, they gotta get back to us on Friday.
Yeah, and we can apologize, we can say, we apologize for the urgency,
I would say
but,
48.
Well, what about,
Or-
how
or
about
Monday,
Monday?
yeah.
At least give them the weekend.
all right.
So when,
I would say at least
Yeah.
If we-
grace.
When we do the interviews then, on Tuesday.
So, here's the other question.
Right.
Is the application, are we gonna use this application to help screen who comes in? So that if we know when we're gonna do the interviews, it helps us get a better
Go back.
sense of,
Work backwards.
so yeah, we gotta work
Backwards, yeah.
So the 20th is already a day that we've got to do a chiefs meeting. The 27th is when we're having our outreach event.
Right.
Mm-hmm,
And the thing is on the April 17th.
17th.
correct.
16th, 17th.
17th, yeah.
What is, our first meeting in April, these folks have already said that they'd be available.
Right.
I'm sure they would have to
Would
know
they?
though.
Yeah, they would have to know.
Yeah, I'm sure they have day jobs, they, they're available, but they would need to know in enough time to say, hey, I can take off.
And we can't interview them all in one night.
That is true, so,
How many is it?
12,
I'm thinking some of these forms, when we send them out, may disqualify
okay.
some people, I'm thinking.
So if we look at the forms, get them back, so are we using the first people that submit the form, the cutoff by the 12th, will be the first people that we use for the process?
Yeah, 'cause we really could do the timeline as best we can. So if someone, for whatever reason, doesn't necessarily meet any of those criteria, it doesn't mean we have to exclude them. They
Right.
just wouldn't be able to make the first
This round, right,
in this round. And then, not only would we need to interview, we gotta have a plan for debriefing so that we can come to a consensus about what we heard.
right.
So, that can be done the same night, depending on how we allot time for these interviews. So maybe we do it, essentially set up a framework for the timeline, but we react based on the responses we get, and we just adjust as we go.
Okay, okay. Mr. James, I see you had your hand up, sir.
Yeah, appreciate it. My question was, as we were trying to figure out the pool, I thought I understand the list represents those who are available for the April training. I thought we were extending the pool to everyone so that, we didn't exclude them because they may not be available immediately for the April training. So I'm just trying to make sure we're allotting the amount of time that we need, or do we need to narrow it down to just those who are available, and those who aren't, do we have a plan, a response, or something to them based on not interviewing because they can't meet that criteria?
Well, I was thinking that, we're not going to eliminate people who are not able to make the first round. They would definitely still, I would say, go through the process. If we like those people and whoever we choose, move them on and have the next date of available training set up with people already set up and ready to go.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you. I
probably
appreciate
need-
that. So I think that expands the list of potential people to interview. And I think that may impact our timeline as far as how long it will take us to get through those interviews.
So
If-
expand the list, you're saying, from these 12 people?
I believe the 12 are just those who are available to who confirmed they were available to make the April training. There may be more
Correct.
who just aren't available to make the April training, which means the pool could go from 12 to 15, 16, 20. I don't know specifically, but if we're trying to do all of those interviews, I think that impacts your timeline.
Right, so the first interview, we're going with these 12.
Gotcha.
We'll keep it open and use it for the next available training date. We'll be able to use the larger pool as well, too. But I think because we're up against time, I think 12 is sufficient right now. to realistically make that date in April, if everybody else.
We'll have to replicate this process for those additional
Yeah.
people
Got it.
at another time.
Yep. All right, thank you.
So when would what's a good target date then for interviews? We're asking for the application back, then we give ourselves time for screening and scheduling in-person interviews.
I think things come to mind. Are we comfortable if everyone can't make it? Are we all right with a certain amount
Right.
of board members making the decision for the rest of the board?
Yep.
If that's the case, which I'm okay with, then maybe we pick a couple dates, that amount of people that can make it, conduct interviews and then we can give 2 dates or whatever to the candidates so that they can pick times within those dates, because everybody might not be able to make it,
At
both
that
board
time.
members and candidates.
Right.
So if we have a couple dates where we know we're dedicated to be here,
Mhm.
it just might not be every single one of us. We could probably knock out all of them.
Is everyone comfortable as long as it's a simple majority of the board? So if it's 11 of us, as long as 6 can be present?
Yeah, I'm okay.
So,
I'm-
are we, I'm sorry.
No, ma'am, go ahead.
All right, I just want clarification. So are we saying the same 6 for each time? Or are we saying that whoever 6, it may be 6 this day and a different 6 that day? So I just wanna make sure.
Yes.
So are we saying that, or are we saying,
Different.
okay,
But the
so,
possibility
no matter,
of it different.
right, it could be
Right.
the same, but whoever's available, no matter what.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
quorum.
Yeah.
That's what I'm proposing.
Yeah. But I
It's
think,
not ideal, but it's
Yeah.
kinda like doing the best we can.
right, and I think what Mr. Melton was saying is that, are we okay with the
Mhm.
process that if the simple majority, whoever is available, that we have to be okay with their decision? We can't go back and say, well, you know what, I wasn't there, didn't get to ask
Right.
any questions, and things like that. Like, we have to be okay with it, and I'm definitely okay with that.
So let me ask the question, so we have to have a quorum in order to do?
Yes. Yep, any police accountability board business, yes, ma'am.
And then the people who are not there, the interview, the absent members can look at this sheet, the people that we interview, if they have any questions, further on before we take the actual vote. Because are we talking about taking a vote that day of the interview?
That depends. I think that's another conversation we can have immediately after, is how we debrief. But I don't think anyone who wasn't there for the interview can weigh in on the interview. They can only weigh in on what the interviews they did make.
So we're gonna do just like the council. If you can't be there, these are people, these 6, the quorum fixed.
That's what he
Yeah,
said.
That's it.
That's what we agreed on.
Yes.
So, okay.
So the first date is the 21st? First interview?
We haven't got that far yet.
Do we need to vote on?
Let's bring this back, let's stay on track so we can make the best use of our time. So, Mr. Melton, I agree with everything that you said and every suggestion is you as well as Mrs. Springs. So if the board is okay with that, Mr. Vice Chair, you said we should take a vote?
I was gonna say, please make it as a motion
Yes, so we can, yes, ma'am.
and be written.
Okay.
Go, Mr. Melton.
So I make a motion that the board determine 2 dates that can serve as interview dates and times, make those available for interviewing candidates. Not enough, or do we need
No,
more details?
and that it requires a quorum.
Oh, okay. And when debriefing on the interviews assessments, we will have to achieve a quorum in order for the assessments to occur.
Okay.
Yeah, we know what.
Thank you.
Mr. Melton is an attorney too, so don't get it twisted. Okay, so, anyone want to second that motion?
I second.
Seconded, motion made by Mr. Melton, seconded by Mrs. Springs. All in favor? Be honest, I can't repeat everything that Mr. Melton said, but I think we understand that we want to have 2 dates, for the candidates, and also those dates for the debriefing and for the interviews for the candidates.
Can I, just for purposes of this, is the vote gonna be on the same day as the meeting?
Yes,
Yeah, I think.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So, the application needs to be back Friday or Monday?
Let's vote on this, we're voting on this right now, and then we're gonna have dates.
Okay.
process.
Yeah, as we go,
We're
yeah,
locking
right.
down the process, then we'll do dates.
Okay, good catch, Ms. Okay. Motion made by Mr. Melton, seconded by Ms. Springs. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Mr. James had a question. Mr. James had a question.
Yes, sir, go ahead, Mr. James.
Go ahead with the motion and I can ask my question afterwards.
All right, cool. Any
Yeah,
opposed?
already, we just were voting.
Yeah. So, let me repeat it again. Motion made by Mr. Melton, seconded by Mrs. Springs, for the 2 dates and the process that we're going to use moving forward. All in favor to go with that process for the interview of and the using the quorum of the members that are available as, the determining factor for those candidates. Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
And abstentions need to be offered.
Yes. And what'd you say, Mom Jo? I'm sorry.
Any abstentions, I can't tell.
And anybody abstaining? I apologize. No, okay. Thank you. Mr. James?
Thank you. I think I was going to ask a question that prompted mine, which was you were voting at the same time. So are you having interviews and then the people who are there are then voting on that day, and then the second day it will be repeating itself? Is that how this process is going to work? Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so what was the
So
next?
now we gotta pick dates.
Yeah, oh, that's what it was. Yeah,
Right.
2 days.
and it does not have to be our meeting dates for sure, okay.
21st and 28th.
And we're talking about being in person, correct?
That's correct.
Yep.
In person, we said in person.
Okay.
That's next Thursday.
All right, so today is
It said they just need 6
the
people.
13th,
I'm sorry.
no, wait a minute, I'm in April,
Today the 13th.
yeah, 13th. So,
Is the, Chiefs meeting, is that in the evening or the morning?
18th,
It's regular meeting time.
Regular meeting time.
Giving them an hour.
No, think of it as them coming into our meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
But I thought, this,
so we're
Yeah.
looking at the 18th to 19th, anybody throwing any dates out there? That's Monday
I'm
and
saying the 21st and the 28th.
28 too far.
Yeah, 21st.
21st, I mean, that's after.
We need to, though. We need to.
In the following Wednesday.
I make a motion for the dates, if I can, Mama Jo, make a motion for the dates to be March 18th and March 19th. That's tough.
You can, but.
Oh.
It's Monday and Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday.
I could do 18th and 19th.
No, can one of you all make the motion?
Okay.
Okay.
so let's,
Oh,
Oh,
wait.
hold on,
what
Mr.
we could do is, we could go through those 3 days of that week by raising hands who's available.
Okay.
Okay,
And we'll
Take a
see,
soft poll.
yeah, we'll see who's the majority for each of those days.
okay. So,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mr. Melton's always
He's
ahead
on
of
it, he's on it.
Right,
Right.
right.
Well, they were gonna vote on it.
Yeah.
so they-
Yeah.
no.
All right,
Let's take a soft poll then.
so
18.
18 and 19?
Okay,
Well,
we'll go with one day.
Oh, each day.
Yeah, one day. So we'll go with the 18th.
Hold up, the time is gonna be 6:30 to 8, sorry.
No.
6:30 to 8 will be the time we're talking about being available.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, ma'am.
all right, go ahead.
Thank you. 6:30 to 8 on the 18th, which is Monday, and will be available.
I won't be available physically, but I can be available virtually.
We want it in person.
Okay. So I'm not available on the 18th or 19th.
Okay, so whoever's available, let's go with who's available. Mr. James, your hand is up, right, sir?
I need to lower my hand. My question is, when is that form due back? I thought the form was due back on the 18th. And I'm just trying to figure out how.
We're working backwards.
So we haven't made a day on when the form is due yet.
Dependent, yeah.
Yeah, we're working
Yeah.
backwards.
So
I know,
we're
I
gonna
know.
figure out when the interviews are to figure out when the form is.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, Seth.
I think we're gonna get to the same roadblock, but I'm just making sure that tomorrow's the 14th, no matter how we try to slice it. So that's the soonest we can get out. So I just want to make sure.
The form's gonna get out tomorrow
Yeah,
regardless.
it's already, the seventh already
What's
is
gonna
done.
change is whether we're asking for the form to be back on Friday the
Friday.
15th
Monday.
or Monday the
Yeah.
18th. That's really what's gonna change.
in light of the staff, and I'm not speaking on their behalf, but should we pick Friday, which seems possible, what are they supposed to turn around between close of business when it's delivered and Monday when we have these actual interviews? I'm just making sure I understand what the expectation is.
So, right, so when we get there, but I think Mr. Melton had already said, we had talked about having it, the staff said that they can get it out tomorrow. We haven't really decided if it was gonna be Monday or Friday. Probably, depending on what this vote is, will determine when we will ask for those forms, if I'm understanding it. Right, okay.
I see what he's saying, though. What he's saying is,
That there could be an overlap.
well, that if we say close of business on Friday, staff is then off until Monday, when are they who's contacting candidates?
Okay.
When are we screening, choosing the interviews,
gotcha.
contacting them?
Right.
We would be asking staff
To work on
to work during
I
the,
got you.
yeah.
So,
I see.
And it looks like they're really excited about that.
Yeah,
So that's, Mr. James has definitely.
that's usually Mr. Melton's catch, though. Yeah, that's catch, okay, so,
So we can't do Monday.
I mean,
okay.
unless we've got volunteers in the room who are on the board that would be willing to make the calls to individuals to schedule.
This
Why can't
weekend.
we change the date to Tuesday, and the next one would be that Thursday?
I think it's gonna probably play out where we don't do Monday, but
Yeah.
But we just gotta go through the.
let's
Okay.
say we couldn't do any other day. We'd be back at the same conversation trying to figure it
All right,
out
let's go ahead.
because we're trying to get it done. So in that case, I would say we would be interviewing people that could potentially be included based on the form, but that would be us kind of just interviewing people without the form information.
Right,
It
right,
wouldn't be the end of the world if we did take forms in Monday,
right.
but still had interviews.
So again, we'll be
It would-
using that piece, still working kind of back.
It would
So
be
that's where we're-
awkward, but
All right. Let's go back to where we were.
we'll probably end up not doing Monday, but
You
That's a
think
fair
so?
point.
Okay.
All right, so
All right, so how many people was that for the 18th?
who is available for Monday?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, so
That's not.
I thought somebody had their hand up.
Somebody had
that was
No,
the
the
question.
that was the question.
Oh, okay, so that was only 5, so Monday is out.
Okay.
So let's,
So this is separate and part, just so I know. AHB didn't have the same requirements as you all did in terms of ethics stuff, but you all voted, right, to require that ethics
up front.
up front.
Mhm.
So are they gonna get that information, and how does that get factored in to the decision
decision.
making?
I think we vote on people through, and then ethics
And
clears
then
them.
send them,
Yeah.
and send them.
And then ethics clears them or doesn't clear them.
But y'all did vote. I wanna make
Yeah.
sure y'all did vote.
We want them to
They
go through that process.
process.
We want them to go through that process before
Yeah.
they're seated
Right.
as a member hearing, at a hearing.
Can they be I guess I wanna make sure that they can go through the training before they go through the ethics
Mm-mm.
thing. Do you wanna let them?
No,
I mean, that would give us 2 to 3 weeks potentially to go through the ethics process. What is the process exactly? Doing the disclosure forms and the
Right, I know,
training?
they know better. I have.
well, I'm sorry, Ebony had her hand up real quick.
What is the ethics?
The ethics,
Don't they have a financial
It's-
No,
disclosure?
they don't do the financial
Oh, they
disclosure,
don't?
they do secondary employment forms for anything they have, that they do volunteer or paid, other than this. The county can,
They can do that
anything that you do secondary to this, as a secondary,
That's the
employment.
only, ethics
yes.
screening.
Would they have to do the training too?
Ethics
The
training.
training, no, the active training comes after you've been selected.
After
for
you've been
employment.
Okay.
but Denise, just, so before, they had to do more than just the, secondary employment, right? This body only had to do secondary employment.
Oh, you mean when you say they, I thought
I'm
you were
talking
talking
about
about the
this
other.
board.
No, this body was appointed by the county executive, and they are in the code and in the legislation.
I know that, but
It dictates
this
that
is,
they do financial disclosures, they had this application.
if you recall though, part of your discussion, and I was trying to ask that you all wanted to make that group have the same requirements as you all did, which
Right.
took a vote.
Yeah, but we can't require the secondary, we cannot require the financial disclosure.
Can we check?
The secondary employment forms you can.
I know we can't, but I thought that Todd said that the board could vote to include that as one of the requirements for participation on the AHB.
I don't remember that.
I think when we
We
met
had a
with
meeting with
him,
them, yeah.
that day, he said it wasn't legislatively mandated,
But
but
we
that the
could.
board could mandate it as one of their,
For our.
Yeah.
for your appointments, yes. So I'll, if you put down, I'll check tomorrow,
Yeah.
okay? But,
So would you be letting them do the financial disclosure, not the secondary employment?
no, all of it, that they would have the same requirements as this body had. That was the discussion. And that it not just be secondary employment. Because part of the issue was having a more robust requirement for them that was required legislatively.
I don't remember it being specific to that degree, but I could be wrong.
It was
I thought that's why we came up with the vetting.
The discussion was to not, there was some things in there that was legislatively required, but that you all were gonna look at more.
The only discussion I remember is Todd was saying that we could not require them to do secondary disclosure forms. That's the discussion I had with him.
Okay, I think, had a different one, so let us just check.
Yeah, we can
Whether or
clarify
not
with
you
Mr.
do it,
Turner.
so we know what your parameters are with your.
But really, the aim would be then, in between the time that we select them to when they go to training, that those.
All those, whatever form.
Be complete.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
Gets turned in and they have time, if you're gonna
Right.
do the financial disclosure, it's gonna take more of a process than the secondary employment. So ethics is gonna have its time built in to review these forms.
So I'm gonna talk to Todd tomorrow,
And then we can get,
and then just know what you can do.
okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Say to the board that 6 seats are reserved, which.
6, oh, okay, okay. That's good to know, okay.
Well, we got our fill in ourselves.
Ain't letting you come.
I know.
We got
gotta
the training,
think of
So
somewhere.
we're back to the date,
Okay.
Monday, or you done with Monday?
Tuesday, we're on
Monday,
Tuesday.
Monday is no-go.
Monday at 5.
Monday's a no-go.
Okay.
So we're on to the 19th. Anybody available for the 19th? Melton, myself, that's St. 5, nobody virtual?
2, 3, 4, 5. Nobody
Nobody.
virtually?
Okay, so, well,
How
no,
about you, Marcia? You available?
let me think about something. So we're missing,
We're missing the two Dannies.
yeah, so we're missing, yeah, 2 Danny.
So one of them can make it, would that be, how many?
Absolutely, yeah,
That
Yeah,
was
'cause we're at
6.
5 per day.
Because we need to do it this next week.
yeah. So I guess I should send an email asking them if they're available on the 18th or the 19th. Because right now we're still, so unless we pick another date.
Next on 20th.
Yeah, that,
We-
that.
but- but
we
we
can't do
don't
the
have
20th.
that thing.
We don't need to go next week.
Yeah,
We
can't
need
do
to
the
do
20th.
something next week.
It may
Absolutely.
be consideration to hold off on the chief, because this you gotta have.
So if
For
we
the
did the
20th.
Chiefs meeting on the 20th, then when will we push it to?
Now, I'm saying, push the chief's meeting perhaps.
Right, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
to what day?
21st.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so we might, and you're right, Mom Joe, we would probably have to move that, because I think this is more important, and we can try to make that date up. And that Chiefs meeting is what?
The 20th.
The 20th, okay, I don't have that on here, okay. So, will everybody be in attendance on the meeting for the 20th?
Do you have 6 for that?
So,
Who's available on the 20th?
1, 2, 3, 4,
5.
5. Anybody up there?
And we're,
Okay.
so let's do this.
The numbers gonna get in.
So-
No.
Yeah,
Unless the
Can we take
unless the
a,
Danny.
call them and see if they're available?
that's what I'm gonna do.
Can we do that, once a break, to see if they're here? 'Cause-
Yeah, so I'm going, well, if they're available, you gonna make a phone call? Okay, and I'll reach out to Vic. So let's do this, let me find my spot on our agenda. We'll take a quick 5-minute break while we make a phone call, to get this done. All right, cool. So, can we take is there a motion to take a 5-minute break, or do I have to take a motion? Okay, well, it's up to the chair. So the chair says we will take a 5-minute break at 7:44. So let's come back at, 7:50.
Okay.
All right, now I'll be right back. Okay, thank you. We're back, from our 5-minute, 15-minute break. So we're still discussing the administrative hearing board interviews and that process. So we did come up with some dates. We did check with the, other members. And so we confirmed that, on the 19th and the 20th, we will have quorum with the 5 members that are present now, plus, another member who is absent today. We got confirmation from Mr. Jones, correct, for the 19th. And we have confirmation, from Mr. Vergamini on the 20th. So on the 20th, I believe we will have, 7 people, actually. So, and as Mr. Melton stated before, that will constitute the quorum and will be whatever, moving forward, whatever decisions that group of people make.
Mhm.
And if more members become available those days, they can still come.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
The more the merrier.
Absolutely.
But at least we
Okay.
have a minimum.
Right, absolutely, so we have a quorum. So, we have the 19th and the 20th as the dates, for the interviews, 4 and 4, okay.
And
And Mr. Chairman, so with respect to the other issue of the form, the staff is gonna send to the Office of Law and Office of Ethics a copy of the updated one. I will then follow up with them to see if they need to give any kind of, approval with
Okay.
respect to the slight modifications that you all made.
Okay,
And I will do that in the morning. They'll send them tomorrow. I'll follow up with those 2 individuals in the morning, and then staff will send that form out before the end of the day tomorrow.
Okay. So we have discussed sort of a process. I don't know if you wanna kind of tag team the process. Staff on what we need them to do.
All right, so we're looking at, trying to shoot for 2-hour windows on the nights we're available. And we're trying to be very concise with our interview process to capture each interviewee in 30 minutes. And just, quickly move to the next, and then have a debrief at the end of the night. So there was also a mention that, we have a meeting scheduled for April 10th, I believe. Since we've already got individuals who are, stating that they're available, we have 12. If we presume all 12 meet our vetting criteria, 2 nights wouldn't get it done. So if we could do another hour or so on the 10th, have a shorter meeting and maybe, capture some interviews scheduled that night, that would also give us an opportunity to get a couple more interviews in prior to the training. What we could do is then announce all of these dates and times up front when the form goes out, and say, these are the dates and times that we're planning to hold interviews. If you get your form to us by the deadline, could you also inform us of, an interview slots that you might have available? Then we can kind of look at that as first come, first served.
right,
Does
okay.
that kind of capture it?
Yes,
Mhm.
Yeah. So when the email goes out to these members, to these candidates,
right.
we need, for the 19th, basically, it's gonna be 4 slots, 7, 7:30, 8, and 8:30. For the 20th, you wanna start a little bit earlier on the 20th?
Yeah, I have a lot of flexibility, so.
7, 7:30, 8, and 8:30. For the 20th, then we start interviews at 6:30 and be here at 6.
So Carlos, you're not having the chiefs meeting on the 20th?
We're gonna have to push that, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
okay,
gonna push that.
okay.
Yep.
So then we would do 6:30, 7, 7:30, and 8.
Yep.
On the 20th. And then on the, what was it, the April 10th, how many slots do you wanna open up? Do you just wanna,
By then, we should have been able to vet through,
Mhm.
and we should have had people fill up the first 2 dates. I think that's one of those situations where we kinda just,
We've got a little bit more time to do that.
we gotta accommodate whatever the situation is.
Okay, so if people get back, but all the slots are filled already, and those are folks maybe we could just offer the 10 to?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And they are still, yeah, because they're the ones that can meet the date of the training.
Okay.
Okay.
So the email should have the form. When do we want the form back by?
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
But we want the responses to the interview dates sooner.
Well, I thought that could come in Monday too.
Okay.
Cause
By
what's gonna
Monday.
change.
By Monday.
Yeah, 'cause it's not gonna change, but it's just, we'll know who's coming in by Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, you can add that with that too, yep, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am?
Oh,
Put Monday with a time, like maybe noon or something, so that we
Yeah.
know that there's some kind of.
yeah, Monday by noon.
Monday by noon, that
Yeah.
way you guys have Monday afternoon to work out the
Yeah.
people who might be asking for the same times.
Right.
Thank you, Ms. O'Giddy, yes.
Yeah, fantastic idea.
Yeah.
So email goes out, it'll have the form, it's back by Monday, it needs to be back by Monday at noon. It'll have the 2 days with 8 interview slots. And also a reminder about the training dates.
Right.
Because it's 2 days, right? 2 days, 3 days?
17th and 18th?
So it's 17th and 18th. So just a reminder, if you are selected, you will have to attend this training, the 17th, the 18th in Sykesville.
Yeah.
Just so that it's a reminder in there what they're signing up for.
Which is mandatory training to even be
Yeah.
considered, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
And I hate putting this kind of pressure on staff to have to do this under short
They're
notice.
fantastic, everybody can make it
But
happen.
if it probably might require some negotiating with the times, 'cause
Oh, okay.
people gonna say, well, I can't make it at 6, but I can make it.
Yeah.
We might just need some communication to get those locked in.
Yeah.
Okay. Or even when we send it to them, I'm sure that we can make a form where they can pick their time, and then once they pick that time, there's no other slots available, so they would have to pick the remaining slots.
Do you guys have something like that available? No?
Actually, it's great at creating that kind of form.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow. That was
Sandy
cold.
is good
Oh,
with
Sandy.
making this happen.
Okay.
Double cold.
Let's go on Kiana too, so we just.
Sandy over
You get
there
a
trying
form,
to
you get a
ignore
form.
me.
So, no,
I'm sorry, what was
don't worry about it, no, just leave it. So what I'll try to do is this, I'll work on that tonight, and I'll send it to Mr. Melton and Vice Chair Sanchez tonight. If they review and look it over and it's working, then we'll send it to you guys, sometime by 12 o'clock tomorrow. Thursday?
Thursday.
Okay. Remember,
Is that Wednesday?
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I'll try to work on that, so you guys, that'll help. So that way they can pick a slot, in the date, and then that way, once they pick that slot, the other only available slots will be picked, so, yes, Mr.
What's the
James?
matter, Mr. Earl?
Just trying to come up with some solutions. What is the pool of people that the form will go out to? What's that total number?
Well,
Well,
So 12 people are trying to fit into 8 slots. Is that accurate initially?
Initially, yeah. And if everyone gets back to us, then we'll just add, we'll add it to April 10th.
correct.
Okay. I'm trying to come up with the worst case scenario so we don't have to come back to this. For example, 12 people all pick the first day because it works for them. Like, I'm just trying to figure out how we manage that in this tight deadline so that we have to respond back and shift some things. And that's where I was just running it. For me, some logistical pieces just weren't adding up, but I will leave it because I can't do all of this myself. So I don't want to, I'm trying to come up with a solution. And I'm struggling.
That's kind of.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Instead of sending out these emails, because everybody's not sitting on their email, checking them all, just giving them a phone call and saying, hey, I can send them this application, but have a conversation with them about
Okay,
the
all of them.
time.
Okay.
To say, are you available on this time? And then that way we can talk through that.
Okay.
Going back and forth with emails, and somebody send an email and
Got
say,
what you're saying.
I need this time, well, that time's not available, and then we going back and forth and wasting a lot of time. So if you're okay with a phone call to the
Absolutely.
candidate to
Absolutely.
discuss the time, I think it'll get done a lot faster.
I agree, yep, yep, okay.
Especially if you ask them for all their available time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you talk to the
Right,
other people.
right.
Then when you talk to the other people,
Give
they,
them time, yep, Yeah, thank you, that works, there's a
Yeah.
solution right
Maybe
there.
one and a backup, right, then you can at least say, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you say, this is the time we gave you.
Right.
Based on the other people.
Okay,
No, that's good, yeah.
There's a
We will leave it in your hands.
yes,
I always say they're gonna take care of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, all right. Okay, so we have the 19th to the 20th process, all right, cool, and then we'll look at the 10th. Okay, and then we're gonna have to, does anybody have anything else on that? All right, cool. Yes,
I
ma'am.
guess if there is a worst case scenario, like Mr. James said, just reach out to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Yeah, if it's worst case scenario and everyone's like, I can only do Monday, just reach out to the chair and we'll try to figure out how we
Yeah.
can make it work.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Appreciate that, sir. Yeah, that's cool.
That was for you, that was for you guys.
Cha-ching. All right, cool. Next up on the, did you have any, yes, ma'am?
Yeah, I wanted to go back, so for the minutes, just so we'll remember for next time, to add under old business, please, we were gonna, come up with a new process for doing action items, and that should be on there under old business for next meeting. And the other that, should be back on there, because I think it just accidentally got removed, is the, adoption of the rules of procedure.
Okay, so that's gonna be on the next agenda.
Mhm. And this is for, yes, it should have been moved forward, it wasn't moved forward. And this, Mr. James, is actually for you. I was in Annapolis, yesterday for appointments, and one of the appointments was for Johns Hopkins. You know how we talked about who was allowed, who came under us and who came under them, and they had Johns Hopkins was appointed by the governor and subject to the rules of the state. And so I thought about you with respect to the PAB. We had that as a question.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking through my email. Okay. That was it, Council Camp?
Under old business.
Under old
Old business.
Yes.
Okay. Get that, Ms. Tangi? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, there you go. I like the way you have confidence in your teammate. Yep, I got, okay, thank you. All right, next up is the Greenbelt the Greenbelt meeting request. Myself and Mr. James. Mr. James? You there, sir?
Yes. I
So,
don't have specific on that.
go ahead, sir.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I don't have something specific. I know we need to connect on that, and talk about it. I'm also looking at the calendar and trying to be a realist about when, we can actually get to that. So, I don't know if right now we need to move it or if we want to try to just send it, in email or set up something separate altogether on that. The last action was
Okay.
that there were questions from the board to how you wanted to collect those from the board as well.
Right, okay, so, and I know you, so whenever you're available, you can just let me know, just give me a call. I'll work on your schedule, sir.
All right.
I know it was me the last time, so, and I know you got some things going on with the family, and so I just wanna make sure, respectful of your time. And you can let me know, I know, right now, so we'll go ahead and table that, and we'll get back. Outreach for March 27th event, Allen and Vice Chair Sanchez.
Sure. Let's see here. So, the subcommittee, minus Mr. O'Neill, were able to meet, pulling up the email with my notes. So we were able to meet on, was that Monday? Monday night. So I appreciate you guys making the time to meet. So we made some decisions. We just want to get everything to the board so that they're aware of sort of what we're working on and what we're looking at. So number one, the scope of the event is to have between 50 to 100 people, optimally, for the event. If it's more, that's great, but that's sort of what we're aiming for in terms of size of the event. The program itself will be about an hour, so we would start at 6:30, which is our usual starting time for this meeting. It would end at about 7:30. That's what we would aim for. That would be the presentation that we're giving, plus having time for discussion and questions with the attendees. If that goes long, we give ourselves that half an hour more of buffer time, or we just end and then there's that social time where people can kind of talk to each other and all that. The other thing is we want to have at least 3 of these this year, so this would be considered the mid-county outreach events. So currently, we asked Ms. Allen, and I'll let her give an update on locations, to look at specific locations, including one that's in the building here that we were able to take a look at earlier, which seems like it would suffice. As a title, so we were looking at the title. We have kind of temporarily, I think you had a flyer. Did you have a flyer here?
Yeah, change the L.
Oh, yeah, you got that. No, that's good, as long as everyone has it, yeah. So, the title would be Police Accountability Board, Paving the Way Forward. That's the tentative title. If you guys are good with that, then we can go with these. These are 2 mock-ups of flyers that Ms. Allen worked on. Thank you very much, professionally done. No, well done, well done. For refreshments, we would have simple refreshments, coffee, water, maybe some light pastries and fruit. We were hoping that maybe we have the availability to do a virtual option so that it's hybrid, but most locations won't really allow for that this time. So it would have to be in person only. Because of the focus on Central County, in terms of advertising, we want to focus on police divisions. They used to be called police districts. Now for Prince George's County, they're police divisions. It would encompass police divisions 2, 3, and 8, as well as county council districts 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we would be reaching out to those county council members to send it out to their listservs as well to get people to come to this event. And then we also wanted to bring to the board future tentative dates. So May 1st, we would aim to do an event for South County. And September 18th, we would want to do something in North County, kind of hit before summer break when people would be traveling and all that. So that's the update in terms of what we discussed and kind of finalized in our subcommittee meeting. Alan, I know you reached out to the locations, if you wanted to just give that update.
Yes, I reached out to several locations when the subcommittee met on Monday. They came back to me on Tuesday and wanted to look at Kentland, Community Center, Sports and Learning Community Center, and, across the hall. I had already reached out to Kentland, I think last week, and I haven't heard back from them. I even called them again today. Sports and Learning is already, unavailable. It's already booked. And then I checked on the location across the hall that is available. Thankfully, the next 2 outreach events are a little bit further along. The county has a lot of activities, so when it's kind of close together, we may not get the locations that we're shooting for. But also, I reached out to Greenbelt Library, and then I reached out to the Bowie Library.
Okay.
Both of them are, open at this time. They will waive the fee. But you have to also accommodate for the staff at those locations. We have to be out by 8 o'clock, hard stop.
Okay.
So, but to what the subcommittee wanted, we're waiting to hear back from Kentland, and then Sports and Learning is unavailable, and the room across the hall, which some of the board members were able to view prior to the meeting, is available.
Okay, Mr. Melton.
I was gonna see if Park and Planning might have point of contact who could tell you Southern Recs that might be available. Like, they could figure out who might be available and get back to us.
Well,
Like, Southern Regional is really big, it's really nice, parking and everything.
and I think that would be ideal for the ones coming up in the future.
Mhm.
They all have division chiefs, so the ones that I was reaching out for, with Sports and Learning, they got back to me that same day. So, and then other people might need 48 hours, and because we're asking them to waive the fee because it's a public event,
Yeah,
like the library system said, because we are reaching out to the public, they will waive that fee.
yeah.
So sometimes it may take about 42 or 48 to 72 hours for them to get back to us.
Okay. Yes, sir.
No, the reason I wasn't on the call Monday, councilperson Fisher, Sidney Harris, and Alderman Hawkins had a public safety listening session, and it was down at the Southern Regional Sports and Learning Center. And what they did, it started at 7:30, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And, we might, I think the next one, they doing what we're doing in a sense. Next one is at the Highfield Library, Adelphi.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one is right down the street, and we might wanna think about the Curry Center, the Curry Building. That's where they having the last one. Thursday, something like that.
Okay.
But I was saying, one thing I was saying about here is that, you might wanna do it at the Curry, it might have more people, come in, think upstairs.
We reached out to the Curry,
Okay.
or to the building over there, and I don't think it'll get up to 100 people. And because it'll be one of our first ones, we don't know how many people will actually respond and attend. So it's hard, and that tech lounge has more booths, so if you look across the hall, you need to set seats out. It's a little oddly shaped in there. But, the next time we go over, or if anybody wants to do some, scouting locations, because I think once everything clears up a little bit, I want to scout some locations, so if any board members want to, tag along for that, I think that would be ideal. And to Tamika Spring's, point earlier, I sent a video of the room across the hall, but seeing it is a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get a different feel that way.
Okay.
Because we didn't talk to any churches of it.
Good idea, but no.
Did you reach out to the state's attorney's office?
So how's the,
The space, because she has a lot of meetings up at the courthouse there.
does she have it in her office, or is it in
No.
the courthouse in general?
It's a
Upper
huge,
Marlboro?
yeah, Upper Marlboro, yeah.
So you're not looking for any more for central? Nothing. You're gonna choose one? Whatever the board, because right now, it's 2 weeks from today.
Oh,
So, we gotta get that flyer out.
Right.
I mean, I would say that my recommendation
Mm-hmm.
would be to just take the room that's across the hall for the first event. My question that came up, and since you're here, is logistically, because the doors are locked downstairs, would we have to make special arrangements to have someone downstairs?
We would need to have security. So
Uh-huh.
when I reached out to the, Curry building, and I reached out to their security, and I said, who do I talk to about obtaining, security? And they said, just reach out to this person,
Okay.
but I didn't know the location yet.
Right.
So now that I do, I can
Yeah.
reach out to them.
Okay.
My recommendation would be that we take the room that's across the hall,
Okay.
and we can kind of arrange it so that it can
Fit what we need.
whoever-
Okay.
whoever we need,
All right.
as long as the logistics works in terms of having someone downstairs,
mhm.
so the doors are open and people, the public can come in and direct people up to where it is, and that.
Okay.
That's my recommendation. So that way, they also kind of get to see the space that we work in, right? And then already starting to lock in dates so we can then start planning for the next one, to look at locations for South County, where you said, especially that location down there, that big one.
Well, you got a Harmony Hall, and you got
Okay.
Yeah, way.
So I would advise everyone, before we leave, if you can just check out the room, that for those of us that are here, just to take a look at it and see. And if, we will use that room, I think that the board should be the ones to configure it the way that we want to. Shouldn't ask staff to do that.
And then, so for staff as well, so we can finalize on flyer, do you guys, would we be okay choosing a really simple poll of just choosing one or the other?
Both of them are good.
Yeah, I'm indifferent, so,
Yeah.
but if we vote, I'll vote.
They got it too?
Yep.
I just
Oh,
sent
you
it
did?
them.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
If they check their email, they should have it.
Okay.
And can I ask how this would be used, or where it would be marketed?
So, you know, the board has a far reach, so I would suggest that you board members send it out to,
Yeah.
your constituents. I remember when we were at the HHPS,
Mhm.
Ms. Eubanks or the chair said, you know, let us know when you're coming out. I don't necessarily wanna cross over anybody, but, you know, we can let our partners know, but as board members, I would suggest, once it's finalized, that you send it out to your stakeholders, your community members as well.
Could we then, it would be helpful for us if you sent it out to the council, the county executive,
Mhm.
OCR, if they, whoever sends out, because I know I get a lot of different emails from the
Mhm.
county,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes from council members, sometimes from the county itself. So whoever's in charge of sending those out, if we could just get that, so that if they're sending out weekly mailings, or e-mailings, I guess nowadays, that we could just get on those. And then I think it's dependent on all of us to send it out to our group contacts, neighborhood associations, all that stuff that we have.
I like the layout, but I was just thinking, for Meet the Police Accountability Board, learn about our mission, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to learn about police reform,
Yeah, that, I just put together a
Yeah,
narrative for you guys
okay.
to edit, so I'm not married to anything.
Okay.
I am, you know,
Yeah.
I'll adjust it as
Something like learn about the
directed.
police, the mission statement, or whatever the mission of the police reform, because we're gonna do the slide presentation before and explain that, and then probably, like she had in the, PowerPoint, at the end, we're gonna take questions, anything.
Yeah, and so I think it's gonna be important too that we have a follow-up discussion to understand the process, because one of the things we wanna make sure that we control narrative, right? And we don't want this to go long, because, we know that this is, something that has been needed by the citizens for the longest time, and so we wanna make sure that we have something and let people know if they do have questions. I mean, there's so many different things that we need to figure out before this process, because we don't, want people to go on tangents. We don't want them to start discussing cases. So I think that some of the things that we need to put out as well is disclaimers when we do send this out, that we cannot talk about specific cases, anything in the media and things like that. We definitely can't get into specifics.
That's what I'm saying, I think we should just say it's a listening session. We're listening, we tell what we're about, and then we have a listening,
Mhm.
and we're not reacting to none of the comments, question that they have, trying to, what their concerns are, in the public, Because that's what they did Monday night, it was basically listen to see what the concerns of the people, and nobody really responded to it, we just see, but then we'll find out issues that the public want, and that help us when we go meet with the chief, say, this is some of the things that we found out just from, our community meetings, our community outreach meetings.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So Chair, did you run through the presentation, that Mrs. Bryant has done? One of you be presenting?
So, and that was another part that I was going to discuss. You mean when we have this?
Yeah.
So I was thinking that whoever is that part of the county, I think it would be great for that board member to present that slideshow, to their stakeholders in that part of the county. That way that the county people, wherever we are, they would get to know that person. I think that it's important that every single board member has one, an opportunity to do slideshow presentation. Two, also to have some input, because we all work hard, and so I want them to know that this is a collective effort, and that everybody should have input. I would like to see it, that it's a conversation, more so, a huge conversation. We'll definitely, identify all of us as the chair. I'll make an opening statement, and, kind of go over some housekeeping rules and things like that. But I think it's important that everybody picks something, that they may want to talk about or discuss. And if there becomes a Q&A session that all of us can answer, hopefully Attorney Camp can be there, as well, and whoever else from staff can be there. But, I think it's everyone. So who lives in that part of the county? Who does?
You talking about this one that we're getting ready to do?
Yes, sir.
We do?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
You live over this way?
Yeah,
So-
we live in Mitchellville.
Okay. So I vote Marcia. I'm just joking. But we'll figure that out.
Yeah, we had discussed in the subcommittee, having 2 or 3 members maybe.
Okay.
Go through it.
Yeah.
Take different.
Yeah, I was asking because I was curious if there was already sort of a running time that we had to
Right.
estimate to see how much time between the hour we would have left for that listening or Q&A or whatever it is.
Yeah.
One of the things I think, Mr. O'Neill had said is to make it more of a listening session, present our piece,
Yeah.
let them know we give them some data and things like that, and then kind of ask, what do you think, police accountability should look like? Also have, HB 670, so we can have that maybe as handouts, rather than to go over it and just to see the slide, because people may develop questions based off of reading that at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we'll make it a conversation, like Mr. O'Neill suggested. Yes, sir.
And so, because the PowerPoint, we can also use when we get requests where everybody can't go, if it's a civic association, we can use that
Yep.
to do a presentation.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I think it's a great idea that when we are get together collectively, that everybody has an opportunity, to present, and then we'll start taking notes too, to those people who present. We can always use some of those.
So before the actual date, that's the other thing we discussed on Monday, was we're gonna do the edits to the PowerPoint presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Then on Zoom, we're all gonna meet again,
Okay.
and then actually have a person go through.
Oh,
okay.
Kind of time
Okay.
it out a little bit.
Cool.
Okay.
So this, like today, the presentation, I think was 14 or 15 slides.
Mm-hmm.
Content-wise, we're talking about maybe 8, really, that will be content.
Gotcha.
The rest of them will just be, you flash something, but you don't really linger on it, so.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because usually, the average person will take 3 to 5 minutes per slide, so if you just,
Mhm.
10 slides can be 30 to 50 minutes just alone there, so, yeah, we're aware of that.
We'll tweak it as we go.
Yeah.
So, okay.
We'll get it down to like tight 20.
Yep, there you go. Type 20, I like that.
My recommendation would be that we go ahead and finalize the location across the hall tonight,
Okay.
for the event, so that way we can get that. I will work with T&G to get you an updated, blurb for
Okay.
this. And then, once again, do we wanna pick one or the other in terms of the flyers?
Oh,
You like yellow?
Yeah, yellow or beige, what do you guys?
I like the yellow.
Yellow? Okay.
Yellow draws the attention to it.
it does.
Okay.
Anyone online, virtually?
I'm agnostic. Either one works for me.
Okay. So, Mr. O'Neill said yellow? Yellow it is.
All right. Well, I'll go with that. I'll work with you on the language, and then, unless anyone has any reason to not want to do it, we'll just do it in the room across the hall then,
I'm in agreement with that.
okay? So then you can reach out to make sure that they staff it for us and all that. Then staff will be able to take care of the refreshments for us as well. All right,
Denise?
So we'll,
do we have, I guess the question is, do we have the funding to be able to
So I
provide
think-
refreshments to people?
It's
So I
just a matter of getting permission.
right.
Okay.
So I think before we put that out,
Well, we're not gonna put that on the
yeah,
flyer.
they'll just show up, they have food.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
For
if we-
refreshment.
If we could start that process for permission, water, coffee,
What,
light
We have to
pastries,
get
and
permission
fruit.
what's our capacity?
No, that's Mr. Chen, because, never mind, Mr. Chen, Mr. Chen.
Hold on, let's bring it back. Hold on for a second. Hold on. I'm asking a question that's important. What's the capacity of that room? Do we know?
125.
So 125. So, what happens if more than 125? How are we making sure that 125 people show up, or not more, like 160? You know what I mean?
That was my concern, because if you send it out to the council,
Right.
you send it out to the county executive, there's no telling how many people will respond. Mr. O'Neill, you went to one of the public safety meetings, excuse me, how many people were there? How many people showed up?
Well, it was like 70 people.
Okay.
You know, you gotta go down there to see that.
So one of the
Oh,
things.
and then we could have them register, so we.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that, one of the things we can do is have a sign up so they can sign up. And then at that point, they can see how many slots are open, but it should be so they won't be able to use a block, for an example. So I can't sign up 25 people. Be able to make it sign yourself up, if that's it. And I know that we've used things like Sign Up Genius for different things and things like that. We can use Google Form, yep, okay, that's your expert, see, I told you. So yeah, we can make that happen. All right, cool.
Yeah, so it's, okay. So we'll go with this flyer. Everyone's good with this flyer. We'll do it across the hall. And then, we'll work on, tomorrow we'll finalize the flyer, the language there. So I'll come up with a section for you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I think that's it for
All right.
March 27th.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Thank you, Ms. Allen. I appreciate that. Quarterly meetings with the police chiefs. So we're gonna schedule that. So we were kinda talking over that. We're gonna have to move that meeting to April because of the work that we have to do with the AD appointees, which I don't think should be a big deal. So, sorry, somebody had something to say? April. Our meeting date is April 3rd?
No, April 10th.
Oh. Oh, April 10th, okay. I'm ready, okay, April 10th, so we could choose that day to have the, Chiefs meeting if everybody is okay with that.
We also discussed that being our backup day for
Backup day.
interviews.
Oh, that's right. So we can push it, yes. Yeah, would that be okay to push the Chiefs meeting to April 24th? Okay with that? It's just going by so fast. Wow, okay. So, are we all in favor of using April 24th as our meeting date for the Chiefs meeting? Or should I ask, is
April 24th.
yes, is anyone opposed to April 24th?
That's another date, yes.
All right, hold on, police chief. Council Camp? Do you? Okay, well, go ahead, nobody said anything, so, yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I wanna go back. You all at the earlier meeting, was to have gotten, the letter transmittal to Delegate Taylor, was waiting on the protocol.
Okay,
That needs to, be able to move forward, so we need to follow up on that. Luckily, the General Assembly hadn't voted on any bills yet. So we haven't missed that window,
okay,
but I did wanna make sure
that we,
that we get that protocol so that you all, the letter's ready to go. And if we get approval, then it can be
okay.
submitted.
So I do know that we have sent it to, the county executive's office, I believe, and the county council.
Yeah.
So once it returns with, the okay, I'll go ahead and sign it, and then we'll send it out.
and it won't have to, I mean, the approval already happened, so I just want people to know
Yes,
we're waiting.
okay.
That it didn't go out yet, that's it.
Yes, oh, okay, thank you, yes, ma'am. Are you the attorney, ma'am?
Are you in new business?
I am getting ready to drop down to new business, as we said what date it was? Yesterday, April 24th. Okay. Next up, new business. It says none, but we have some.
Well, I wanted to ask today, I was listening and this is for our new policy person. There is a new, Florida is starting to say that they are trying to reduce the oversight powers of oversight boards. And my concern is to start tracking, because if Florida is doing it, that may speak to some other states getting ready to try to either get rid of or diminish these oversight boards through state legislation. And so I just wanted to make sure we were tracking that and see if, I know Florida is doing it, to start to see if you see a ripple effect, maybe in some others, because if that becomes that might be a trend that the board wants to,
In front of,
acknowledge.
okay. Thank you, Attorney Camp.
And then I have a
Okay, well, this your part of the schedule, so yes, ma'am. Okay, so, thank you for that. Announcement?
And I'm not
Oh.
sure, I'm just,
Well, I was gonna mention that the state's attorney's office is now doing its own version of the Citizens Academy. I think the first class is on April 7th. They made the announcement this morning in a meeting that we attended from one of those listeners.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that gonna be a year-long thing? Like,
I don't know how long it's gonna be. You probably should check on their website. It's not
Yeah.
some of these state's attorney's offices now, but this is the first class. It'll be similar to the academies that the police do over a period of time.
12 weeks.
my only other announcement, I hope I'm correct, and is this, Ms. Hall's last meeting with us?
Yes, it is.
And I did not want to let you leave here without, I'll speak for me first. Just it's been a joy and a privilege and a pleasure having you as our administrator. And, just want to thank you for everything that you have done. You will be missed, but I hope you enjoy retirement. So when I stop being mad at you for leaving, I will, be able to take you out to celebrate you. I thought we could all give her a hand for her.
Thank you very much. After 37 years with the county, 37 nonstop.
wow, you were 12 years old when you started working here? You were 12 years old when you started
She was in
working
a
here?
cradle.
But, after 37 years with the county, I am ready to go.
Well,
I've been through I keep repeating this, I've been through 5 county executives, 5 agencies, 5 deputy chief administrative officers for public safety. So I've seen it all, from Paris Glendinning to Angela.
and you've been consistent, and so, I started working with you with the Citizens Complaint Oversight Panel, where you did some outstanding work. You supported us over there on that side of the house when it was in existence. It was an opportunity to meet you, and immediately I knew that you were the keeper of all the records, not just for the, right, oh, yeah.
There are no secrets in county government.
So, I just want to say that it's been an absolute joy. I've learned a lot from you. And to be honest, there were times that we didn't see eye to eye on some things, but we never were disrespectful. So I appreciate your professionalism, for that. And then sometimes if I would go left, you would steer me back in right. So you would definitely be missed.
Well, it's kind of like a little family.
It has.
But Tangi, Ashley, and I, we laid the foundation, now, I don't want to say completely ourselves, the foundation for these three entities. We set up the charging committee till the, staff came, then we set the PAB up, and then we did the administrative hearing board. So I feel that we laid the foundation and built maybe 1 or 2 walls. So it's up to, we're passing the torch on the new people.
That's right.
So that they can finish building those walls and.
Yeah, take it high.
As Mr. James say,
I hope we're no longer building the airplane as we're flying. We can take off now.
Yep, and so, and we know that it's in good hands now with the new staff and everything, but you will be missed. I have your number, so don't even worry about it. So,
And I have your location,
yeah, right.
I know where you live.
So, if there's anything we can do, right. And so, we had a conversation earlier, and you said you would definitely be here to assist, which I think is outstanding and great. So, your last day in the office is Friday?
Next Friday.
So I think we should all just protest with our signs, come up here, make it outside. But no, that's not to say that we're so glad that the new staff is here. Yeah, it's just the love affair that we have with Denise, and I'm sure you guys feel it too. So thank you so much for your service.
Well, I don't want her to go.
Yeah, right. Right. And it would be great if everybody could stay, but, but thank you so much. So we're looking forward to, doing things.
I'm gonna come back and sit at the good idea corner. You know, when you say, well, did you try this? How about that?
So thank you for your 37 years of service and your commitment to this process.
You're welcome.
Yep, so,
I will miss coming in here.
you said you will miss?
Whoa.
Sometimes I'll miss.
Every once in a while.
Ashley has a lot of pull with you, so we're going to tell Ashley to start telling you, we need you to come back in.
Oh, yeah.
Come on back as a board member.
Ooh, you went there.
Come on back as a board member, yeah. But thank you, Denise.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Marvin Joe, and, Vice Chair, did you have anything you want to say? You say echo, and I think he has a $250 gift card, he said.
I just say gratitude and.
It might be monopoly money.
I say gratitude and Bitcoin, gold bullion, and
All right.
silver certificates.
Right, so thank you again. So we should just have this meeting go on and on, so you can't leave. Okay, all right, yes, ma'am. All right, cool. With that being said, anybody else have any announcements on the board? Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to, just a reminder, I sent out an email already about the financial close is due by 8:30.
Oh, you sure did. Reminder to have them back to you. You wanna give us a cutoff date, 'cause if you don't do that, we'll.
8:30.
Oh, you did, okay.
We have to go to a website, right? We have to go to a website, right, a county website to submit it? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, see, that's the difference where we're gonna miss Denise, 'cause she would send us a form and stuff. You know, now we got to go to a meeting. So we're gonna have to really work now.
No, Ebony gonna fill it out for us. We just gotta sign our name, right, Ebony? We got it.
That's what I'ma do.
So, with that being said, any other things from staff? Thank you. Okay, great. Well, here comes, Ms. Springs is not here. This is her favorite part.
Oh, I know.
So, well, Marcia,
Who's doing it for?
yeah, Marcia. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
A second?
No, I'm making the motion.
I'm making a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, motion made by Mrs. Ridley to adjourn,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Melton. All in favor to adjourn, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining? Meeting adjourned at 8:49 PM. Thank you, have a good evening.
That was good.
That was good.